Hi, the purpose of this video is to review the course syllabus for PSYC2301 General Psychology offered at Brazosport College by me, Antonio Zamorales. As you can see, my name is spelled out there, including my Brazosport College email address and my virtual campus email address that have been provided to me by the college. To ensure privacy and reliability, email communication will only be conducted using these email accounts. So if a student wants to send me an email, they must use their official Brazosport College email addresses. My phone number is provided there. That's my office phone number, and so that's a phone number to call and leave me a voicemail. However, it's really not necessary considering that I'm very reliable when it comes to email communication. I'll typically provide an email response within 1 to 2 hours. Unless it's a weekend or holiday, the response might take 24 to 48 hours. As you can see, there's a course introduction description there. This is an introductory course to the field of psychology, and psychology is a very broad field that covers a lot of topics, and so we'll be covering a little bit of everything. This course is primarily designed for students majoring in social or biological sciences, students who are studying healthcare or education. However, the information provided in this course will be relevant to everyone. The course objectives are outlined there. We'll define psychology and the goals of the field. We'll establish some of the perceptions and perspectives in the field of psychology. We'll introduce biological concepts, cognitive concepts, and psychological concepts. We will discuss concepts relative to behavior and behavior modification. We will also discuss physiological and mental principles of the body. The most important part of this class, in my opinion, though, is that we will be relating this information and applying this information to real life situations and dilemma, which brings us to the required textbooks in this class. The first required text is a traditional college textbook. It's called Psychology, A Concise Introduction by Richard A. Griggs. It has 10 chapters in total, and each chapter is focused on one specific discipline or subfield of psychology. We'll also have a supplemental reading titled On Killing, the Psychological Cost of Learning to Kill in War and Society by Dave Grossman. This book does a great job of applying psychological concepts from the textbook towards real life situations regarding post-traumatic stress disorder, violence in society, military combat, military service, and obedience to authority. Very fascinating book. I think all my students will enjoy reading as much as I have. These textbooks are available at the Brazosport College bookstore. However, a student is not under obligation to purchase directly from the bookstore. The course components for the class are as follows. There'll be 5 regular multiple choice exams. These exams will each cover 2 chapters from the textbook. There will also be a final exam that covers the entire textbook and replaces the lower regular exam grade. Information from the supplemental reading on killing will not be on these exams. These exams are strictly focused on the textbook. So each exam will weigh 8% of the final grade, and the final exam will replace the lowest regular exam grade. There will also be 6 short quizzes. Referred to them as student learning outcome quizzes. The learning outcomes for the course are as follows. These outcomes are prescribed by the Southern Association of College and Schools, a organization that's responsible for the accreditation of our college and several other educational institutions, and so therefore they want to ensure that we are addressing essentially the basics of psychology in this class. It's important to understand that these learning outcomes are not quizzed in this order, and so therefore learning outcome 1 is not necessarily going to be the first quiz that you take. The quizzes are outlined on the virtual campus calendar. The first 3 outcomes will be the first 3 quizzes, and they will basically occur within the first 2 weeks of the class. As you can see, we have 6 quizzes that make up 5% of your final grade, so these quizzes each weigh less than 1% of your grade. Important to keep in mind that the multiple choice exams and these multiple choice quizzes are all timed, and so therefore students, when they begin the quiz or the exam, they must be prepared to complete them. This is also a writing intensive course. There will be 10 writing assignments that are attached to the syllabus. These writing assignments will vary. Some of them will involve conducting research. Some of them will require summarizing information from the textbooks, and some of these essays will require a more in-depth personal look into the course content. These essays should be at a minimum of 500 words with grammatically correct sentences, proper introductions, transitions, and conclusions. Students will submit these essays or these writing assignments to to the virtual campus Dropbox associated with each essay in a .doc or .pdf file format by the posted deadline. These deadlines are available on virtual campus. Students can submit their writing assignments up to 48 hours after the posted deadline with a 30% penalty. A writing sample is available in the content section of Virtual Campus. It's very important that students meet the bare minimum expectations of college level writing in terms of grammar and punctuation and formatting, which means complete sentences, proper paragraphs, a title, and of course punctuation and capitalization. If students submit a writing assignment that has no regard for any of these concepts, their work will be rejected based on writing quality, and that will require them to submit their writing assignment to the Brazosport College Writing Center, and then at that point they can resubmit their assignment to me, and it'll be basically considered late, and so it'll be docked by 30%. However, it's very important to understand that once that occurs to a student, they will be required to have every one of their writing assignments assessed by a member of the Writing Center prior to submission. The reason for this is that if a student submits poor quality writing and I require them to have it revised by the Writing Center, typically their next assignment, if it's not revised by the Writing Center, we will essentially be repeating the process over and over again. Their writing will be rejected continuously. There's a writing sample attached in the content section. I think that students, if they have any concerns or fears about writing, once they look at that writing sample, they should maybe have their first assignment reviewed by the Writing Center, and the Writing Center will do a good job of letting the student know whether or not their writing is up to par in terms of college level expectations. Another major part of this class is going to be online video responses. There will be videos and articles provided to the students, specifically videos. There will be videos provided to the students in the discussion section of Virtual Campus. Students will view these videos and then post a short response to each video that basically demonstrates that they've seen the videos and that they've taken some information from them. So all of these course components will total up, and the grades will be assigned to the following scale. 89.5 and higher will get a student an A, 79.5 gets a student a B, so on and so forth. Very important that students are honest in their work, specifically with regard to the writing assignments. If students plagiarize, which means if they copy and paste information from the internet, or they take information directly from the textbook and present it as their own writing, or they submit a document that was written by a student in a previous semester, all of these offenses are considered plagiarism. At minimum, they will receive a 0 for the assignment with the possibility for an automatic F in the course, regardless of any other work that's been completed. And so just please do your own work. I do not administer or perform any administrative withdrawals for students. So I don't withdraw students from my classes. I'm happy to advise a student if they think that they're concerned about their grade and they want to know if withdrawing from the class is in their best interest. But ultimately, that's a decision the students have to make, and that's something that they will have to do with the Office of the Registrar. If students have any sort of documented learning disability, it's important that they contact our special populations counselor, so that way he and I can communicate in order to provide reasonable accommodations for the student. If a student has any technical issues with Virtual Campus, their contact information is there. It's important to contact them immediately to have that issue resolved. The Title IX statement is also attached. Basically states that we as faculty and staff at the college are committed to providing students with a safe space, and we will essentially make sure that students are not discriminated against. If students wish to file a report of discrimination, the contact information is provided for them there. So that summarizes the syllabus for the course. The writing assignments are attached, but I will be addressing those in separate videos. If you have any questions, my contact information is provided here. Again, we went over the course description. We talked about the textbooks that are required for the class. We looked at the course components. As you can see, there's going to be multiple choice exams, multiple choice quizzes, writing assignments, and online video responses. We talked about the importance of academic honesty. We talked about our grading policy, withdrawal policy. We talked about students who have disabilities and who they should contact, students who have technical issues, who they should contact, and the students who feel they are feeling discrimination. They should also, the contact information is provided for that matter there. Thank you.